Hey y'all, I'm back and I am hitting the trails. Not really. I mean, I guess it is. It's a state park that I've been on. In fact, I did this exact trail. Let's see. I think it was like Wandering Back to the Start was the name of that video. So, we're gonna see if I can shave off some time. And also, I just need to get a hike in because, oh hey, it's snowy, because of my training hike. So today's hike was just do it, just get it in. Today's an easy 3 miles, well, sort of easy. It's like incline at first. I'm already out of breath, and then it gets easier. But from my house, which I can see this mountain, it didn't look too snowy, but it does look pretty muddy. So let's see where we go. Didn't quite make it to the top, but look at that view. Sunrise this morning was absolutely stunning. We're to a flat spot, and just today was a really good day to go hiking. Time-wise, not a great day to go hiking. Emotion-wise, great day to go hiking. Time-wise, I had a meeting this morning for my daughter, and this afternoon I have a function at her school and all the other stuff in between. But at my daughter's school meeting this morning, I just got some news about her that brought up a lot of fears in me. And I want to allow those fears and not sit there and try and correct them and try and say they're not needed, or try and say there's nothing good about them. There's good stuff in those fears, and I'm not gonna try and just push them away. I'm gonna say hello to them, and I'm gonna work through them, and I'm gonna allow them to be, because there's a lesson in there for me, probably about trying to control other people's journeys or something, but there's a lesson. And so today I'm mostly just gonna walk and think and feel my feelings and trust that me and everyone I know is on the path they're meant to be. And sometimes that path is a little muddy, a little sketchy at times. You're afraid you're gonna fall off a cliff. But sometimes that journey also has views like this. I mean, really, who wouldn't feel good when you're walking through a forest, seeing patches of snow, pine needles everywhere, smell of the earth, the feel of the cool, crisp air? Who wouldn't feel good? Probably someone who's miserable in their own lives. That's who. And I am not miserable in my own life. And I may have fears about my daughter and her future, but I'm not gonna deny those fears. They're allowed to be here. So, this is a juniper. It has no berries on it currently, but so the underside of it, see how cool that is? Green, blue. It's a juniper. Juniper is actually the main ingredient in gin. Did you know gin is just vodka with flavorings in it? The more you know. So, I know that has nothing to do with allowing fears to be here, but it is a fun little tidbit and a little bit of information. So, I am gonna just wander down this trail and think of all the wonderful things my daughter has in front of her, even though she does have some struggles as well. Here we go. This is my favorite part of this trail. Just gorgeous. Forgot to mention it's about 41 degrees out here. I stripped off my sweater and I'm only wearing my base layers, my pants, and my base layer pants. And honestly, probably could have done without the base layer pants and just done the hiking pants. It is warm out here. It's very muddy too, look at that. When I was walking along the cliff edge and it was muddy, I was a little nervous because I was like, I could slip and fall down this cliff. But I made it without incident, thankfully. Not even a slip, which I will say these ultras, I think they're Lone Peak 2s or something like that. They're the waterproof ones. I've been hiking in them since last May and I love them. I definitely will most likely get another pair when these ones wear out. I like the wide toe body. I have a wider foot, so it really helps. And then I've never gotten a blister. And I have hiked, I think the furthest I've hiked is 6 miles in them. But no blisters, nothing like that. Oh, you saw that before I did, didn't you? Isn't that gorgeous? This is a part I didn't get to video last time because there were people here. But there's like a bench down here and everything. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's also super muddy and super slippery. So slow and steady wins the race, right? Oh, there's bugs out. I guess that makes sense. It's above freezing. There's a lot of birds out too. I keep seeing them. I don't know if you can hear them too. Oh, there's birds over there. I don't think you can see it, but very, very muddy. Oh, but I am already feeling better about my daughter. Like, sometimes movement helps you release, and that girl is going places. She's my little math genius. I just know she's going to do something with math one day. She's going to be an MIT graduate, and she's going to uncover a part of math that no one's ever seen before, and she's going to teach the entire world math. I'm calling it now. One day, she will be getting a prize for her skills, like a big, well-known prize. Here comes a person. Anyways, I believe one day she will affect the world in her own unique way, and I'm pretty sure that's math. That girl loves numbers more than she loves anything else. She's always given herself math problems. I don't know a lot of people or a lot of children who give themselves math problems, but my little pumpkin sure does. So I know she is in good hands with her parents, and I know she's on a good path because that girl, she is compassionate and she is thoughtful and she is caring, and everyone around her can see it. She's a deep thinker, and it's just like no one can say a bad word about that girl because she is just she is all good, and she has questions about the world that I love answering because it makes me see the world through a different perspective. And I think that's what our children should be to us, is the ability to change our perspective. Growing up, my mom and her family, and just the family that I grew up with, they saw children as a burden and something to boss around, and just so much negativity around my childhood, and I've really changed that with my daughter. Like, she's respected, and we care about her opinion, and we tell her all nice things instead of all negative things like my mom did me. And she knows she's a good person because I tell her that, and she's even told me that. She knows she's a good person because I tell her that. So, just, your voice is your children's inside their voice, their inside voice. Ooh, there we go. See, I knew it was gonna happen, but ooh, there it is again. But so, be the nice voice inside your child's head. Be a voice of calming and of assurance, and of all the things that you wanted to hear when you were growing up, the love you needed. Because honestly, sometimes I am used to be more so, not so much anymore, but I used to be so jealous of my daughter, because, in fact, both of them, because I was exactly the mom I needed for those two. And that was hard for me sometimes, because where was the mom I needed, And eventually I became the mom I needed. And now I interparent myself more than I probably parent my own kids. I swear, I'm constantly telling myself how much I'm here for me and how much I love myself. And I know that's I was watching a video the other day that just made sense to me, and the creator, it was Rituals by Michaela again, and she was talking about how she said something about we are walking gods, and how to some people that would be egotistical and like really just, oh, hey, there's a squirrel again. I'm telling you, I keep seeing him. There he goes. But how that would be seen as egotistical and narcissistic to some people. But to me, it made sense. I am the walking creator of my own reality, right? So, we are walking gods. Well, again, some people might think it's egotistical or whatever of me to say I tell myself I love myself more than I tell anyone else I love them. But it's what I need. It's what a lot of people need, and they're not getting. And so I'm not gonna listen to other people's judgments of me. I do often enough, and that's something I'm trying to let go of and trying to feel and release, because I judge myself enough. I don't need other people to judge me too, I don't need to take those on. But so I'm learning to let go of the shame and the judgment from other people, and learning to let go of the fears that come up for other people's journeys. Honestly, that's really what the last couple of weeks have been about. It's just releasing fears, because last week I got some really bad news, and I just spent the week releasing my fears. A lot of it was through rest and relaxation, but some of it was through moving my body. Whereas this week, again, this time I'm releasing fears about someone else's journey instead of my own. Cool rock. But, it's just, it's nice to be able to see the lessons that life hands me, and the beauty that life hands me, and be able to see it for what it's worth instead of always just seeing darkness. Even when I got the bad news, I was sitting there trying to think, what good is coming from this, And I have seen the good now. It took a couple of days, but I've seen the good now, and good is coming from the bad news. And so, not everybody can see it, but I've talked to people who can, and they're with me. And honestly, I'm trying not to seek validation from anyone else anyways, so the fact that I see the good is important. and it's important to me. And so I am gonna seek out the good for my daughter's situation. I have a friend who has the same diagnosis, and she said it's her superpower, and so maybe this will be my daughter's superpower, and maybe it'll make her more thoughtful, and maybe it'll make her more compassionate. Not that the girl needs it, but maybe it'll just, maybe it's a perfect part of her story. That's ironic. Maybe it's a perfect part of her story because she will learn from it, and she will overcome it, and all the good things. But that's my very, very long-winded way of saying I'm not so fearful after, let's see, what am I at? Almost 1.2 miles. We're at 1.2 miles. I'm not so fearful anymore. You know, walking through the woods is a good way to release your fears. Okay, I am done with that trail. I actually forgot to turn my watch on a few minutes into that trail, so it was about 2 miles, and I did the math because I forgot to turn my watch on. I did it in 57 minutes, and I checked my activities. The last time I did this trail, I did it in 1 hour and 9 minutes, so I chopped off 12 minutes from this trail. And that's with, like, my mother-in-law called me while I was on the trail, and I talked to her for a few minutes and then was like, okay, I gotta go, I'm on the trail. But yeah, so 12 minutes sooner. My training is complete. Just kidding. It's a work in progress, but I feel really, really good about that. And yeah, so like every time I do a trail, it's a better time. It's less time resting, less time waiting around, just more time moving my body, and that feels good. And honestly, it feels good just after, like, emotionally, I feel way better. I feel relieved. I know my daughter will be okay, and I know I will be okay, and I know my husband will be okay, and I know my oldest daughter will be okay. So all is good. And I guess that is it for this hiking training. It was only 2 miles. I did think it was going to be 3 miles. I should have checked my stats sooner, but it's okay that it was only 2 miles. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one, and remember to be kind to yourself.